there is a push towards smart grid and distributed generation by the government agencies. And if you go in distributed generation, what is it? It is basically setting up solar plants or having community wind farms. Now by doing that, what you do is, when there is an excess electricity that you generate at your own end, you supply it back to the grid. Also, you can use that energy to charge your electric vehicles, again offsetting the carbon footprints. And also, you can use it for basically handling peak power requirements. So when the demand goes off the roof and the supply is not there, then these distributed generators can come into the picture and supply excess electricity to the grid. So we recommend that direct energy goes into this particular area, the consultancy sector in the distributed generation. The option that we are having here is wind energy or solar energy. Now, solar energy prices are again debatable. Now, from December 2001 to August 2009, there has been constant reduction in the price of solar retail modules. So this shows that the R&D which is going into solar generation as such is making cells more and more efficient, and the power output is increasing. So in the long run, this will be available at a cheaper cost and will be more environmental friendly solution. To look at various competitors who may be interested in this particular area, are there any competitors who are actually working in this particular area? We got hold of Constellation Energy. It is $18.1 billion giant which operates in US. They are into various kinds of, they are also an integrated service player, and recently they have set up 30 megawatt wind farms for Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, and also have done some work for US Army. So they have started into this consultancy sector, and they are advising people the merits of green energy, and if they have that requirement, then they'll go there, set up the plants, and tell them how to supply back the excess electricity back to the grid. So they'll basically do the operation and maintenance work of it, and they'll help in installing these plants. Now, distributed generation, smart meters, everything is coming into Ontario at a very fast pace. What is happening is, there was a push in 2005 by the government of Ontario. They invested $1 billion in installing smart meters in each and every Ontario home, and the project is due completion in 2010. So if that comes into picture, then what happens is your house becomes intelligent. You know how much energy you are consuming. Rather than getting a bill at the end of month, you right now know, if you are switching on your dryer, how much electricity you are consuming and what is the cost of that electricity. So this is one push. Second is, so this is the entire framework, the smart grid. At a macro level, what happens is we are having distributed generation. You can see the solar panel on the house roof. What it does is it supplies back excess electricity back to the grid. It helps in sustaining the house, so you don't require any further contracts from companies. Also, you are having smart meters, and direct energy here will play the role of consultancy. There is one more important development in this sector. Recently, players like Google, Oracle have come into smart grid in US in a big way. Google in fact has a collaboration right now with GE, and they have told that they want to revolutionize the way US electricity market works, and they want to go ahead in smart grid. Now, what exactly these IT companies are going to do in electricity business? What they're going to do is, on transformer and substations that you have intelligent sensors. In your house, when you are having washing machines, dryers, all these will become smart instruments, smart gadgets. So they'll know how much price they're consuming. Now suppose your dryer knows what is the current price of electricity in the market, and if that is too much and if it is above your budget, then the dryer will operate at the night time when the prices go down. So these kinds of intelligent features are coming into picture, and all these IT companies are developing good software programs for it, new tools and new products for it. But again, saying that it's a disruptive technology because nothing is certain right now. It is under development, and in fact, Boulder City is Boulder in Colorado, US is the first smart grid city in this world. There are 50,000 households who have installed this technology, and it's working fine. People have reduced their monthly electricity budget up to about 15% or so. So when this entire framework comes into picture, what we suggest that direct energy as an integrated service player has a good exposure and knowledge of the North American market. So you adopt a wait and watch policy. Just wait which IT company comes out with a good product, which is more sustainable, and whenever such a development takes place, you go and have a tie-up with them. Because IT companies will be lacking in the energy service, or maybe the energy front of their business. They don't have domain expertise in that particular area. So this kind of a synergy between both these parties will help in the installation of these products at a rapid pace and make the process more smooth. And direct energy will again earn revenue out of it. But to calculate the return of such an investment, like when you say you go into consultancy sector and you earn revenue out of it, it is very difficult to predict how much return are you going to generate. So we had a talk with our industry expert regarding this. He said, yeah, it is difficult, but you can go with the back figures and go ahead. So right now, Centrica as a company is having 8% WACC. So if you are investing in a disruptive technology, the premium of equity definitely goes up. So say about 2% it goes up. So we can say that this sector, whatever pricing you do, you have to ensure that you earn more than 10 to 11%, and then it becomes more sustainable in the long run. So to conclude, finally we are having long-term and short-term recommendation. What we are saying is, instead of retailing, you do a vertical integration. So as a retailer, if you have generation strengths, so in the short term, as a retailer, you have no more asset-like approach. You have to acquire base load plants in the generation sectors to basically counter your mark-to-market losses. Also in the long-term area, when you are saying retailing business, you go into energy services, which Bullfrog example that we talked about, the premium that is charged and how to set the green plants. In generation sector, you have to go in distributed generation, smart grid, do some consultancy in this area, and then you can become a big player in this market. Also, when we say all these recommendations, the point is there is a lot of investment which is required. Now, from where this money is going to come? Centrica is a 21.4 billion, 21.4 billion pound giant in UK, and they have recently raised about 2.2 billion pounds and also $650 million recently to go for acquisition strategy. The CEO of Centrica himself has told that they are on an acquisition spree and there is a fire that is burning inside Centrica. They want to acquire more and more companies because valuations are very good in this market and they are cash rich. And they have also given very good impetus on the North American region. They want North American region to grow. So when you say that, Direct Energy is the first player which comes into the market. So you can definitely get some financial support from the parent, which is happening right now for covering the losses that they are making. That is what our industry expert told, that there is a very good financial synergy between both the parent and the child company. These are the final recommendations that we have. And finally, whenever we say you go ahead, you have to look into environment and electricity, and both have to go hand in hand. Thank you for being patient listeners. Now we are open to all your questions.
First, I think that was an excellent job, gentlemen. Very, very thorough analysis, and your presentation style was very clean, crisp, very well presented, and an informative, very informative session. I have a couple of questions. I'm going to start with an easy one. So you are suggesting an investment in baseload plants as a short-term recommendation, and part of your logic is to have that service as a hedging vehicle, almost to counter some of the losses. Aside from that, as a hedge, what else is a reasonable short-term hedge for Direct Energy to use in the near term? I'm focused here first on the near term.
We actually went through some reports, some articles that were published, and the mark-to-market losses, what people are saying is, if you're not a big player in this market, you don't have deep pockets, then in future, they're saying that the fixed price contracts that you're having for 5 years duration, that is going to go down. You'll be having 3 years or 2 years of contracts. Okay, so when you reduce the contract size, the volume of energy that you hedge goes down, and then you have less exposure to these losses. That is one particular recommendation.
But there's no other tangible hedge that they could use in the short term?
Well, currently what they are using is using the financial power that they have Centrica. So what we are suggesting is how to go away from that power. How to be more successful.
In fact, the industry expert told us that this is the biggest strength that Direct Energy has, because they have free access to the financial support from their parent. They're able to sustain in this market. Otherwise, when the price go down and there's so much price volatility, a big player like Reliant gets bought up by a different company, Universal and Just Energy merge together and operate in sync so that they can sustain in this market. Direct Energy has not done anything like that. In fact, in 2008, they have bought Rayovac and Trans Energy, two plants in natural gas area. They are actually going on an acquisition spree in this tough market. It says that they are interested in going for this.
I very much like the connection you made to the synergies with IT firms, because I agree with you that there's a lot of intelligent, and if you look at intelligent buildings in North America, there's a huge interconnectivity between IT operations, energy production, and so forth. But you're suggesting that they play